Sports presents Live at Ringside. In a light heavyweight bout, Mike Rossman meets Robert White. And in a junior middleweight bout, undefeated Earl Hargrove meets Darryl Penn. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Barniak along with Ring Magazine editor Randy Gordon, and we've got two stories tonight. We've got the champion who went down, is trying to fight his way back, and we've got the young hot prospect who's trying to get up to the top. We're talking about Mike Rossman and Earl Hargrove. We'll see Earl Hargrove first. 23 wins, 23 knockouts. What are we going to expect tonight? Another knockout?
Absolutely. Earl Hargrove, in my book, is the hardest punching junior middleweight on this planet and probably any other planet around. The guy can bang with either hand, single shot. Nobody comes up to his power.
In against a guy named Darryl Penn, a journeyman fighter, but a guy who has been in there against some pretty tough cookies. We don't expect a walkover, do we?
Absolutely not. Darryl Penn has been a professional boxer now 9 years. And Jim, I was at ringside in Las Vegas, Nevada just a few months ago. And Mark Holmes, the brother of heavyweight champion Larry Holmes, fought Darryl Penn, and in the second round, one right hand put Mark Holmes down. It was near the end of the round. He had to run just to keep from being knocked out. Darryl Penn can punch. He said he's not afraid of Hargrove at all.
A former football player by the name of Robert White out of the University of Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, going to be the next test for Mike Rossman. We've seen him in two comeback fights. Mixed emotions there. He was a little sluggish early on, came on stronger. The competition, albeit all not strong, but I think a little bit different test tonight, a stronger one.
Absolutely. Robert White has a record of 15 wins against only 5 defeats. He is a strong fighter, a well-conditioned fighter, and he's the kind of guy who's going to give Rossman problems. He's got good legs, he can move, he can punch with both hands, he's got a pretty decent chin, and I think this is definitely the biggest test of Rossman's comeback, no question about it.
The big thing about Robert White that really surprised me, he's not at all in awe of Rossman. He wants the action to start right away.
In awe. He thinks that Rossman should be in awe of him, and he said, I came here tonight not to survive, not to get a payday, but I came here tonight to beat Mike Rossman.
All right, the comeback of Mike Rossman continues. The surge to the top for Earl Hargrove continues as well, and we'll be back with it all right after this.
If you enjoy All-Star Wrestling, the August Prism Show will include a lot of your favorites. Bob Backlund and Sergeant Slaughter for the championship. Morocco and the Superfly with Sweet Hansen as guest referee. A Chief, a Baron, a Russian, Mr. Fuji, and Mr. Stud. Watch it Thursday the 18th at 5:30 and an AM showing Friday the 19th at 3:15. All-Star Wrestling and Prism, a tough tag team to top.
Go to South America and search for emeralds with Ryan O'Neal and Ann Archer in Green Ice. Travel to outer space where Sean Connery finds nothing but trouble as a marshal trying to keep law and order in Outland. And take to the air with Clint Eastwood as an ace out to steal a plane with a mind of its own in Firefox. Prism will bring your weekend to a far from quiet close on Action-Packed Sunday, August 21st. Be watching for it.
All right, getting set here, first of all, with junior middleweights, Earl Hargrove from Philadelphia, 22 fights, 22 knockouts, and he takes on Darryl Penn from Portland, Oregon, 29, 25-1, and we'll be going up to Ed Darien to introduce this junior middleweight bout.
From the famous Copa Room of the sensational Sands Hotel and Casino, here in the boxing capital of the world, Atlantic City, New Jersey, Peltz Boxing Promotions and Connolly Promotions, in association with the Sands, proudly present this evening's professional boxing card, which is approved and sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Commission. The former heavyweight champion of the world, the Honorable Jersey Joe Walcott Commissioner. Robert W. Lee and Nick D. Balistreri, Deputy Commissioners. The physicians in attendance at ringside this evening, Chief Physician Dr. Frank B. Doggett and Dr. Ron Wood. The judges, Robert Kimbrough, Harold Letterman, and Tommy Kazmarek. The timekeeper to bell is Roy Johnson. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Teddy Pick. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 10-round middleweight bout, referee Vinny Rainoni. And now, boxing fans, introducing the principals. First, in the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks with the white trim, he weighed in at an even 152 pounds. This gentleman hails all the way from Portland, Oregon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Darryl Little Train Penn. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the tan trunks with the dark brown trim, he weighed in at 155 1/4 pounds. This young man is ranked number 1 by the USBAI. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, boxing fans, here is Earl the Pearl Hargrove.
Go to Chief second.
Vinny Rainoni, the official in this bout, and we'll listen to him.
Back, break clean, resume boxing. If there's a knockdown, I'll put you in the furthest neutral corner. Remain there. Don't come out, even if I count to 8. Don't come out till I call you. You understand that? You understand that? 3 knockdown rule is waived. It'll be my discretion to let the fight continue or not. If you go down at the end of the round, other than the last round, the count will continue. You've got to get back to your corner unaided. Seconds will not help them back to their corners. You understand? Shake hands and good luck.
Earl Hargrove will be in the beige trunks with the brown trim, the blue trunks and white stripe belonging to Darryl Penn out of Portland, Oregon. Hargrove is exciting a fighter as there is in the middleweight division right now, coming off a great bout which was seen on national television, and probably his toughest bout, in which he went 9 rounds before knocking out Don King. But what a slugfest that was, and all of Hargrove's fights have been slugfests, at least while they last, and most of them have not lasted very long.
Hargrove can hit hard no matter what he throws. The jab, the hook, the uppercuts, the cross. If he misses you, sometimes he hurts you.
He is in the beige trunks with the brown trunks. He's come along comparatively slowly in terms of how middleweights have progressed in Philadelphia. A lot of fighters, when they get up into the 20s, 25 bout range, are already in the top 10 and taking on big name opponents. Hargrove has come much slower than that and has been content, at least thus far, just to learn a little bit each time out and attempt to knock out his opponent each time out, which he certainly has done.
He has that thing we call killer instinct. Once he gets you hurt, the fight is over.
Darryl Penn with the left hook there that catches Hargrove backing into the ropes.
But incredibly, last May 22nd, when he stopped Don King in the 9th round, he floored King in the 1st round. The fight looked over, and I don't know to this day how King got out of it. I've watched the tapes of the fight. He somehow survived 8 more rounds of a beating. But he gave just as much as he took to Hargrove, which showed us a lot about Earl.
Earl admittedly lost his cool in that fight. We're talking about the King bout. A lot of pre-fight banter going back and forth. Upset Hargrove. He went out and tried to do it all in the 1st round and kind of spent himself somewhat. And King was able to come on. A lesson learned. I know a irate George Benton was all over Hargrove as that fight progressed. Benton, one of the cornermen and tacticians for Earl Hargrove. 1st round here as Hargrove is backed up by Darryl Penn.
Well, there's a hurricane growing down in the Gulf of Mexico now, Hurricane Alicia, and sometimes that's how Earl Hargrove starts off, and this is the first time that he hasn't started like a hurricane hitting shore. He is relaxed, he's picking off shots, he's thinking defense, and I've never seen Hargrove like this before.
Darryl Penn turned pro back in August of 1975. Hargrove, by contrast, started in this professional business in November of '79. Big right hand, about 6 inches short of the mark by Hargrove. Hargrove now flicking that left jab out, and he certainly caught Darryl Penn's attention with one of those jabs. There's a right hand that catches Penn, and Penn wants to trade punches. Hey, that's a mistake.
Well, that jab is something that Hargrove should throw a lot more of.
The first round all over here for Earl Hargrove, who threw some rights and lefts toward the end of that round, and Darryl Penn was content to hang in there and take them. Let's see how the two fighters measure up here as we watch the tail of the tape.
Well, they're very close in age, and of course their weight. These are junior middleweights fights. Darryl Penn has had a lot more fights, and he's fought a lot of guys when he was out of shape, last-minute notice. So let's throw away the record for tonight. The KOs, of course, Darryl Penn has the one big right hand. Hargrove has the two best hands, I think, in the junior middleweight division.
You'll get to him, you understand? Hold him out, please. The cut's not bad. You got a slight cut, so don't worry about that.
Percy Richardson, the man with the towel from Trenton, New Jersey, long-time
Make it miss. Don't go to
fight
punches.
corner man. George Benton, you see, leading in to the right. One of the great middleweights to come out of Philadelphia, in a town that has produced literally tons of top-flight middleweight fighters. And George Benton now very actively applying the skills of the trade to many, many fighters.
Well, somewhere in that first round, I don't know what hit Hargrove to do it, but on his right eye, he's already got a small cut. He got cut severely in the Don King fight, I believe, over both.
There's a right hand that staggers and drops Darryl Penn. One punch.
There it is, that power I was talking about. Anybody he hits on the chin is gonna go down.
Not quite 30 seconds into this second round, and a serpent-like right hand by Earl Hargrove staggers, stuns, and drops Darryl Penn. Penn complaining about something there. Hargrove touches gloves. There's a left jab that
he claims he's getting thumbed.
All right, we're going to have a stoppage here momentarily. The left jab by Hargrove landing right on the forehead, and Darryl Penn still complaining now, holding his left eye, saying, hey, I got thumbed in the eye.
Hargrove went down to one knee. I've never seen that before.
There's a left-right that staggers and drops Penn again. Kind of a delayed action fall by Darryl Penn. He bounces right back up, but he appears as though he's one or two punches away from being out of this one completely. Hargrove very patiently trying to make the final one count.
You just said the word, patiently. When a fighter has another man hurt, go after him, but be cool about it.
Hargrove going for another knockout, and he seems to be on the verge here.
He's got him. I believe he's got him. The right uppercut's got him hanging on. The legs are completely gone. They're shaking.
Plenty of time left here in the second round. Down goes Penn for the third time, mostly from a push this time.
You see the legs are gone. There's no underpinnings.
Referee Vinny Ranoni looking into the eyes of Darryl Penn. Penn says, I'm okay. Let's see. He's been down 3 times already. Left, right, there's number 4, and it's over. Darryl Penn saying, I'm all right, but it's very clear to us that he could not defend himself. He had lost his legs, as Randy Gordon points out. And a disgusted Darryl Penn goes back to his corner. With 1:25 left here in the second round, Earl Hargrove scores knockout number 23. You'll see the punch that started it all right here. Watch. A straight right hand behind the left kind of a glancing blow. Now we have a succession of knockdowns, and there's number 2. Two more knockdowns rather, following that one. The third, kind of a half punch, half push, and number 4, a convincing right to the body and a left to the head, and down went Penn for the 4th time. Hargrove, as you see, a slight cut above the right eye, getting attended to there by Percy Richardson. So Hargrove showing more wear and tear than his fallen foe, but that matters little now as Darryl Penn comes across congratulating Earl Hargrove. A straight right hand, not quite 30 seconds into this second round, ended it all for all intent and purposes, and then Hargrove applying the big bombs from there. Here's Ed Darien.
Referee Vinny Ranoni stops this bout at 2 minutes and 4 seconds of the second round. And the winner by a TKO and still undefeated, Earl the Pearl Hargrove. And how about a nice round of applause for a real gamer, Darryl Little Train Penn. Let's hear it for him.
Earl Hargrove the winner here, and what an exciting future he has in the middleweight division, and one would have to imagine that he's about ready now to really step up in class, Earl Hargrove, and take on some of the real top-ranked foes in that middleweight division. A very lively one it is, of course, in and around Philadelphia and in and around the world for that matter, with a couple of promising guys, Curtis Parker, Frank Fletcher, practically neighbors of Hargrove, already in that upper echelon, and Earl Hargrove about ready to step up in class with them. We're going to have Earl stop by and meet with Randy Gordon and say a few words here, waving to the fans, and let's go up now and meet this very, very exciting middleweight fighter.
Here I stand with Earl the Pearl Hargrove, 23-0 now, 23 knockouts, another easy night.
Yes, it was. Like I said on Randy stand, I wanted to take my time tonight. Heard this guy stand, which is a vibe like that. I want to take my time because I was prepared to go the distance. George Benton told me a long time ago, he said, I got to get out of that stigma of trying to knock all these guys out. So I went out there and did exactly what I carried his order stand to the best of my ability, and it manifested itself. He went.
You got cut, a little cut on the right eye in the first round. What happened?
Well, he hit me with a hook, and I think that's what developed the cut. And then I see he was kept on going for that, and that's why I kept on putting my right hand up and stand to defend the side of my face. But unfortunately, I got cut my last fight when I fought Don King. The cut completely healed up, but I knew it wasn't that strong, whereas though we were going to withstand any kind of pressure like that.
What did you do in the second round? You had been knocking him down a few times. All of a sudden, I saw you go down to one knee. I've never seen anybody do that. What's going on? That's
the old trick we use around the gym. When the guys always telling you the best thing for you to do, go down on one knee and stand. Hopefully, the referee get there enough time to break you up. So that's what I was doing. I would get down on my knee because I didn't want to tug walk the guy like that. So I went down on my knee. Hopefully, the referee get there enough time to break it up.
How do you like that? You taught us all something tonight.
Thank you.
What's next? They're talking about John Mugabe. Not maybe for you, but all of a sudden, he's the hot man in the junior middleweight division, along with yourself, the Beast against the Pearl. How do you see that one?
I've been hearing about this guy, John Mugabe, for a long time, right? And I hope in the future something do materialize between me and him. I hope by the end of this year, possibly, and then hopefully instead Tom Hearn or Roberto Duran. But Mugabe, I'm telling you something, watch out, man, because I'm the Pearl, I'm saying this genuine.
How about Roberto Duran? He's got a fight coming up for the middleweight championship in November against marvelous Marvin Hagler. I don't know if he's going to beat Hagler, but he's still, even if he loses, going to be the junior middleweight champion. How about you and Roberto Duran?
Most certainly, I know it's going to be a good fight, and I doubt very seriously beat Marvin Hagler, but I hope instead that if we do fight, and I hope we do decide instead to defend the WBA and junior middleweight title, because I'm looking for Duran too.
Earl the Pearl Hargrove, congratulations again to you tonight. Let's go back now to ringside and Jim Borniak.
All right, thank you, Earl. Sorry to cut you off there, but we've got to get on to more fighting here. Mike Rossman coming up against
So the Hatfields made it out of town and went back to selling sewing machines without ever receiving a cent for filling the Marina Reservoir. San Diego turned to the task of cleaning.
Hello, we're the Fletcher brothers. I'm Anthony Two Gun Fletcher.
I'm Frank the Animal Fletcher.
I'm fighting Louis LaRocca, so watch out.
And I'm fighting Curtis Ramsey, so watch out. Stay tuned.
In one of Prism's most exciting bouts ever from Atlantic City, Frank the Animal Fletcher scored a grueling but impressive win over fellow middleweight Ernie Singletary. That victory started Fletcher up the ladder of the middleweight rankings, where he's now considered a prime contender for Marvin Hagler's crown.